his ankle is completely fine. I don't know
Yes,
what
yeah,
witchcraft or black magic he used, but his ankle is perfectly fine. Which
he's
I
all
mean,
good.
like we said, I
Taylor
don't think
Swift touched him up a little bit.
there's not a Super Bowl run for the Chiefs if he doesn't have an ankle injury at some point. So,
Sure.
and I believe he even said he was like it's not as he made a comment and compared it to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He said it's not as
Yeah.
bad as he
Yeah.
said it wasn't as bad as that ankle
Sure.
injury. So I was like, all right, so we're even acknowledging like bro goes on Super Bowl runs with bad ankles all the
With
time.
bad ankles, yeah.
But besides that, Houston obviously lose to Kansas City, which wasn't the biggest shocker of the week.
I mean, it was close.
It was.
It was close. What was it, 16-17 or whatever? Tank
The
Dell
problem is,
scores a touchdown, blows that thing up.
see, all right, yeah. See
But yeah,
that
no,
that
all their games feel close at some point, and then gets put away, and it's whatever. But
that's been Kansas City's story all
the whole
year.
year,
They and I'm. It's like all right at this point. It's like no, like their defense shuts down whatever offense, whatever scheme you got at the end of that ball game, whether they're down, whether they're ahead, whatever they need to do to give the ball to the offense, and they 100% every time the game is on the line, Patrick Mahomes has gotten it done and will get it done.
yeah.
It's just happened every single year or every single game.
I mean, that's a good thing about the Chiefs. They have a great defense. But yeah, the offense is
And after the
struggle bus.
Tank Dell injury,
It was over.
you can't. I mean,
It was
bro,
over.
CJ was
I mean,
crying.
CJ
Like
was crying. CJ was way out of it.
I can't
I
really
mean, I
see,
can't blame him
bro.
for it, but after that, it was
Which
because you're running with Nico and you try to get Mixon going again, and I don't know.
that injury, like it was. I mean, obviously it was bad, but just in like the first replay when they show it, I mean, you see
The
just. I
flop
mean, through compression shorts
through
or through
pants, you can
compression
see
pants, like
the ends of bones. It's
you
gross.
just see things that you're not supposed to see going, and
No.
it was almost I don't want to put blame on anybody because like kind of like remember Rashee Rice, Patrick Mahomes, kind of
Sure.
just dove right into his leg and put him out for the year. What I forgot who dove. I forgot who was it that dove
I don't know who
into.
that was.
Why
I don't
did he
know.
do that? Now I get it, mate. I get it. I'm assuming he saw a ball and didn't see Tank.
Sure.
But I don't know that it was a pretty reckless dive in the first place.
Mm.
But either way, that was a terrible injury.
Yeah.
And
What
it
was
was
it?
absolutely
It was torn ACL,
and
dislocated knee,
dislocated knee.
plus they said other knee injuries. His
Which yeah, I'm
meniscus is probably
sure.
fucked up. Everything else is strained in his knee. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
knee looked brutal.
Yeah.
Bunch
So
of surgeries. They said he's out for a year. He's probably not playing next season.
which is just it's fucked. But they're
Yeah.
on the brighter side in terms of not like a season ending conversation. The CJ Stroud conversation. Now, way, way, way long ago, maybe September-ish, we talked about like different narratives that
Mm.
the possibilities of them being brought up or the chances of them. And one of them that I feel like we had pretty low was CJ having a sophomore slump.
We brought it up, but the whole time we were talking about the addition of Joe Mixon, the addition of Stephon Diggs, and how much better this team could get. Um, but the whole time we were like, he's not slumping for shit. He's good. And yeah, I mean, now it's not a bad, like, this isn't anywhere near one of the worst sophomore slumps we've seen. It's not that bad of a year. It's just
So
not better than his last year.
to answer the question, is he having a sophomore slump?
It's like a sophomore, like, piddle. I don't even know what a piddle is.
Look,
Not really. I can't blame him.
it's a sophomore slump.
Yeah,
It's a
I get
sophomore
it.
slump. Look, okay, so it's a sophomore slump, but there's a couple reasons why. A, it's because of the expectations from his amazing rookie season.
Yeah.
You don't go out and win Rookie of the Year. Okay,
But
if
that year he was being compared to rookies.
okay, but I mean, we're now able to look at he's played 15 games this season and he played 15 games last season.
Mhm.
And when you look at it, every single statistic is it's
Sure, but he still
it
has a
he's thrown
positive
what was
TD
it?
to interception ratio.
He's thrown I don't know. He threw 6 less interceptions, 600 more passing yards, 4 more touchdowns, and only had 4 more passing attempts in those 15 games.
It's not that bad.
There's definitely a drop off.
There's a drop, but it's not that bad. Like their team is
It's
still.
not that bad if you're going year 7, year 8.
I know,
Rookie year, better team, worse season, second year. There's a
but
conversation to be had.
still atop their division.
It's the
They
AFC
didn't.
South.
I understand,
What is it? What
but
what I
they
mean? What does
won
that
what
mean?
9 games last year?
9, 10, 10-7.
10-7, I think. Yeah, I mean it's yeah for sure a slump. He doesn't look like the dominant force that he was last year, but in terms of like bad years for quarterbacks, it's not that bad at all.
No, but you got it. You have to look at it. You have to look at it in comparison to just
To his
CJ Stroud.
expectations,
The
he
same
was
way we
supposed
would
to be
talk
put up
about.
in that top 5 conversation. He's not there.
Oh yeah, no, 100% was supposed
Yeah.
to be in a high ranking. But
Yes.
the same way, it's like we can have conversations about Bryce Young in just the 2 years,
Yeah.
and just because CJ has had a way more successful first 2 years,
Sure.
I mean, you can talk about the difference in just how he looked a little bit better his rookie year. And maybe there was less pressure, and that's the reason why. And they were comparing it to a college CJ Stroud. But their
Then you look at
defense
this year,
their
and
defense
it's
is a
like
lot worse.
even when CJ is not playing as good as he did last year, still looks like a much better quarterback than Bryce Young.
Than a lot of Bryce Young and a lot of these young guys. And their defense a lot worse. Points allowed, total yards allowed,
Mm-hmm.
passing yards, or everything is higher.
Yeah.
They just I don't know. It was almost like we expected this next level step. This next step for the Texans.
Yeah.
Like you said, they added Joe Mixon. They obviously lost Diggs, but either way, I mean, I think with or
And now
without
no
Stefon
Tank.
Diggs.
That's gonna suck for the playoffs.
For sure. Well, no, they're fine. They picked up Deontay.
Yeah, no, they're good.
They picked up Deontay Johnson.
They're
They're
good.
fine. The Texans are completely fine.
I didn't even realize he got waived. I thought y'all just suspended him.
I'm glad.
Yeah, no,
I
I agree.
said I wanted to keep him just for like to be petty.
To keep him away from a contender, yeah.
But okay, like you can go to Houston.
Agreed.
Like you can go to Houston. And if you're telling me like I just don't understand. It's like he is going to have one game in Houston where he gets 1 or 2 looks and is
Yeah.
going to get pissed off again and
Yeah, I know.
not play. I mean, does he expect the Texans to not suspend him?
Like
If
bro
he
was
pulls the same shit.
playing for nothing on the Panthers. Gets a shot with a Super Bowl contender and complains about not getting targets.
I don't
Piss
know.
off.
It doesn't make much sense, but
I guess he would rather be on a 3-13 team.
sure. But now he's with Houston and has a chance to be a second option, and
Yeah.
I guess
As a receiver, yeah.
he's almost just forcing to get more looks at this point. Being on the Houston Texans, they said the only other team that were interested in him were the Chargers, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was the Chargers, which
Chargers are looking for everything.
Chargers. I mean, yeah, no,
Anything they can scrounge together.
What's his name? Quentin Johnson can catch a cold, so
But
he's
Deontay's not getting picked up if Tank Dell doesn't get hurt. Not by the
Deontay
Texans.
doesn't get picked up if Tank Dell doesn't get hurt. Probably not. So
I mean, he could have been.
So he'd be a Charger,
Maybe.
which to
Or
me is even
a free
worse. Yeah, which I think going to a team like the Chargers probably a worse scenario than the Texans.